John Levison with Tri247. We're at Profeet in Fulham. Today we've got the launch of the 2010 British Pro Development Triathlon team. You'll be familiar if you're regular readers of the site that we had Team Active Instinct in 2009. The team is continuing for 2010. Currently TeamTBC SportsAid. Pleased to be joined by Tim from SportsAid. Tim, can you just tell us before we go on to the involvement in the team, what is SportsAid, because you're the charity partner of the team. Tell us a bit about SportsAid, what SportsAid does and its involvement in triathlon and in sport generally.
Sure. SportsAid is a charity that helps nurture and recognise next generation of talented athletes coming through. We support about 40 sports, and it tends to be athletes that are just looking for their breakthrough point, maybe to get up to some lottery support, maybe turn professional, go full time. And our role is to help to recognise those guys, give them a helping hand. Our partnership with this team is absolutely synonymous with that. This team's about nurturing talent, telling their story, the journey of the athlete, looking for the breakthrough, looking for that improvement. So for us to be a charitable partner of the team this year, and hopefully years to come, is a cracking fit. It's nurturing talent and recognising developing talent is the role sports has always had. We've not done anything else in sport, and we'll keep true to that role, so we're looking at new ways of telling that story. This is one.
Yep. And I believe SportsAid are not new to triathlon as such. You have had lots of involvement, certainly on an individual level, with a lot of triathletes that we will have known that are both within the team now and not involved in the team over a number of years.
Yes, we have. We've had a strong connection to supporting triathletes over the years, and interestingly, the way that we've seen that evolve is that athletes perhaps have come from different disciplines, or have perhaps built on core skills that they've got across one of the three disciplines. And interestingly now, though, it is a sport right from the start that some young athletes are choosing to go for. And we certainly want to respond to that. So in building our own knowledge about the sport, aligning so closely to a team and this type of initiative, and maybe getting some help from you guys to help tell that story, is a fantastic way for us to think about the future. We've got to think about post-2012, we've got to think about that next generation of athletes being able to get into a sport that they fully understand. It's got its own niche.
Yeah. And you sort of mentioned beyond 2012, and that's quite a good fit with the team, because there's certainly a number of people on the team now, thinking particularly Lois Rosendale and Vicky Graves, who they're thinking of Olympics is probably going to be beyond 2012, and they're athletes who you've funded and supported up to now, I believe.
Yes, for sure, they are. We're quite familiar with those guys and how they're making that progress. And really, strictly speaking, those that we're helping this year and maybe next year, 2012 is going to be too soon for them unless they're an absolutely precocious talent. They're probably already on the pathway. So therefore, we're thinking about potential future Commonwealth Games, should that be included more effectively, and certainly looking for future Olympic events where we'd like to have a few years worth of that relationship under the belt. And then we've got ready-made role models. People are inspired by people, and if these guys can tell what that journey's like in real time, and again, perhaps you can help us do that really effectively, that means that next generation coming through can see it evolve.
Where does SportsAid manage to obtain the funding from that you're providing to athletes across a range of sports? Do you spend a lot of time seeking external sponsorship, or is it government funding, or combinations, or where does the pot come from?
It's a good question, isn't it, about funding in sport? We don't receive any lottery funding at all. We have a mix of funding that you might imagine most charities would have. So we develop funds through some donations, through event planning, but particularly through commercial partnerships with the corporate sector. There's a huge amount of appeal they have to aligning with sport. They love the idea of that nurturing of talent. It gives them a uniqueness over simply picking a star and using that star as their ambassador. And it helps them activate lots of other things they might do in sport. And then we have a strong connection to core exchequer funding, which is the Talented Athlete Scholarship Scheme, which we manage, which is nicknamed TAS, and that supports athletes that want to keep their education going too, which again would be relevant to some of the team members. And who's to say, as the team evolves, that maybe being part of this particular team might come with an education scholarship with it too. So these guys can have some modular learning, distance learning, perhaps a bit of vocational education, so they don't have to put all the eggs in that one basket.
And you mentioned there that sort of commercial links with major sponsors. At the moment, the team doesn't have a title sponsor. Is that something that hopefully or potentially the relationship with SportsAid may be able to assist the team with, and through that link, maybe a title sponsor can be found for the 2010?
We'd really like that to happen. We work with a broad mix of commercial partners, and we would absolutely want to tell the opportunity to them of this team and the collaboration with the team. And it's a very difficult environment at the moment, as I'm sure everyone appreciates, but clearly there's a really nice cause-related link. If we can encourage some of the partners we might know to support the team, and in doing so maybe that creates another pot to help future team members, that's a brilliant way of putting a partnership together. So we'll do everything we can to support that exercise. And it may be that there's one or two partners that the rest of the team haven't come across yet, that are really interested in becoming new investors in sport, and they feel as though SportsAid is the route that will give them comfort to do that, and the team is the property that they'll link to. So it absolutely adds something to our bow, and we hope it adds something to the team as well.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for that, Tim. I hope it turned out to be a great relationship both for the team and for SportsAid. Win-win all round. You'll be able to find out more about the team through the year on Tri247. As we did last year, we'll be profiling all of the athletes and their progress through the year, so keep checking back and you can find out more about Britain's pro development triathlon team. Thank you.